So as you may know, I recently got a 3D printer, and I have been printing Bakugan like an absolute fiend. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's been interesting kind of learning how 3D printing works and, seeing all my results turn into actual products. And so over the last month or so, you've probably seen some posts about all of my different projects I've been working on. And so I wanted to make a dedicated video as to what I've done now. You've seen Leonidas and you've probably seen some of my ones in the past, but I have updated them. So I'll try and do like some comparisons to them. I think it'll be interesting. But yeah, the card we're going to be using today is this really pretty Backlash special ability card from the HSP series. I got this a while ago and it's just a gorgeous card, so I was like, well, why not use it for this video? But yeah, we're going to be going through all of the ones I've done. Another thing that I still see people asking me is like, how did I do it? And all these files are free online. And so what I'm going to do is I will link the creators. I'll put their name on the model as I show it. So it'll pop up in the corner. And then I'll also leave a link in the description of the video. And all of these are free online. As long as you have a 3D printer or 3D printing services, you can do this. So I'll leave that down there and I don't know, spread some tips on how to make these work better. Some of mine are not 100% perfect. I tried to do them as best I could, but some of them just do not close well. But we'll get into that when we get into that. So let's jump into it. Before I got into the functional Bakugan, I did want to show off the mechanical Bakugan models I have. So these aren't functional, at least with a resin printer, they'll never be functional. Some minor success with filament, but just the designs are so difficult that, like, look how intricate that is. Like, I just don't see it being possible to really make a super successful one. But this is Mock Spider. I painted this one. This was fun. I have a whole video on the channel for this, so I'd recommend you just go watch that. I also show off the other ones in that video, but this is a whole video dedicated to 3D printing. So here's Mock Spider. Really like the design for this one, had fun with that one. You can make it yourself, I have a whole tutorial. Up next we have Borai 80s, so the print for this one turned out pretty well. I'm excited to paint this one. I asked in that video, but I want to ask again, do you think it's worth painting him entirely white? Or do you think I should keep him gray and just add in the yellow? I don't know what would be better. Obviously, keeping him gray would be easier, but is he worth painting white? I'm not sure. I also found, speaking of this, with Mock Spider, or not Mock Spider, with Mockibus as well, they make like a metallic resin, so I could make them in like a metallic resin, which would be interesting. I don't know how well that would work, but it might save some painting. This is Mockibus, and I'm really proud of this print. It needs a little bit of cleanup. You can see like I got a support piece there, but just like in here, the design of this like came out so well. So really like how this turned out. He stands pretty well too. People are always shocked that he can stand, because it does come with like a display thing you can stand him on, but mine stands really well. So yeah, just a really neat model. Yeah, I like the design. He looks good. Even the back looks good. And then lastly, we have Dryoid. Dryoid here, unfortunately, had an arm break off, but it'll be an easy super glue fix. Not really sure how I'm going to paint Dryoid. He needs to be like a metallic brown, like a copper color, so I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that. You guys might have some hints or help in the comments, but not sure yet. This one might be on hold for a bit, but he does have his little cannon piece, which I think is cool. This comes up and it can be removed, like so. So it just comes out, but I don't know how that'll go with painting and whatnot, but for now, it's there, and it's semi-functional, I guess. It's the only functional piece on him. But yeah, Dryoid's pretty cool. This was the first one I printed, so I might go back and do some changes. But yeah, not sure. We'll see what goes on. I just wanted to show these off. They're not super functional at all. But yeah, let's get on to the functional pieces. So I think the most appropriate one to start off with is Infinity Dragonoid. So obviously, things are looking very different here. So this is the Infinity Dragonoid that Spin Master gave us. Pop him open. Very interesting looking, nothing like the show, and I'll pull up a picture of what Infinity Dragonoid looks like in the show just so you can see. This is not Infinity Dragonoid, and so thankfully we got a different version of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and show him off. So he's trying to pop open a little bit. I don't know why. He should be good. But this is the new design. I made this in the past, and this is like an entirely updated version. I used all different kinds of paint. I've been working on my paint skills a lot, and so let's go and pop him open. Oh, he's trying. There we go. Nice. So this is my Infinity Dragonoid that I printed and painted. Again, the files are online. And if you remember, I did definitely do this one in the past, but this is an updated model, as well as just, I've perfected my painting. I don't want to say perfected, but I've updated my painting. I've learned some skills and stuff, and just continued to sharpen them and get better at painting Bakugan. And so this is what I was left with when I was done. It's got a bit of resin dust on it still from drilling. But yeah, I just absolutely love the model. It opens and closes pretty good. There's the Infinity Core. In the past, I used like this nice little shiny like metallic gem. I still do have it. I don't know if it's worth putting back on there. It was nice, it was cool, it was reflective, and did a lot of different colors. I don't know, leave a comment if you liked the gem on there better. But for now, I just painted it. It was really easy. And it's just, the difference is insane. Like, this is what we got, and this is what we can make now. And there's also an Ultimate Dragonoid form. I might do one. It's literally the same as this. The only difference is there's not a core, and the wing design is a bit different. So other than that, it's the same exact model and everything. So I don't know how worth it is to make, just because it's literally the same thing. They take a while to make too. Like, I'm definitely not an expert, but it's cool just to see that we can have these new models. So that is Infinity Dragonoid. We're gonna go with a classic next and do Hydronoid. So this Hydronoid model, I'll need to find online again, because this one's not 100% functional, but I printed it in a black resin and painted it. It was relatively easy to like create. The only issue is that it's not really super functional. There's a lot of issues with it, just in like the places things need to slot in and all this other stuff. So there's another model out there, I believe, that's a bit more functional. I believe this one was a 3D scan, so it's not 100%, but as you can see, like, I painted the eyes different. This is definitely just a display piece. It's just kind of sitting there looking pretty. It doesn't roll out, or it's not functional or anything. I don't even know what pieces you would use to make it fully functional. I do have a spring on the head, so it does do that at least, but other than that, like, it has a magnet, but these pieces, they move, but they don't spring out or anything. The feet work, they're a bit tight, and then the tail folds in and all that and stuff, but it doesn't pop open when you drop it on the magnet. But it's a really cool piece. It's just nice to have as like a display on like my shelf and stuff, just to see like, oh yeah, there he is. But super cool nonetheless. I'd really like to try the original like OG version. It was like a beta mock-up someone created, but the files are not free online. They're like a lot of money, and they're not really, the creator's not giving them up. You can buy them off of him, I believe, but I don't know. I'd rather build it myself. I think that's part of the experience, but it's cool just to see that we have so many different 3D modelers out there creating these awesome designs. So there is Hydronoid. We'll go ahead and do Naga next. So my Silent Naga is somewhat functional, like it does work, but this particular wing is a bit loose and I don't want to move it too much. So he pops open pretty well. Sometimes I have some trouble with them, but this particular wing piece is really loose, so I'm not going to mess with it too much. I don't want to break it on camera. I'd rather just leave him as a display piece. But this is Naga, and so again, super interesting. Like, this is like regular Naga before he gets corrupted by the Silent Core, I guess. So, you know, the DS exclusive white Naga, pretty famous, right? We all know what this is. And I think it's cool, just like once he gets the Silent Core, this is what he kind of turns into. This is made using Wavered parts, and I believe I used a couple different pieces for that had broke, like a spring had broke, so I switched it to something else. But oh no, his horn's not in there. Oh, let's get that out. There we go. But yeah, it functions very similar to a Wyvern. And then of course it's got these wing pieces. I'm more comfortable moving this one, but they move up and down and kind of collapse, and you can just put him up there and he pops open just like a Wyvern does. But painting this one was pretty fun. I used acrylic paint and just multiple layers over and over and over again. If you see my previous one, again, it had some issues, but I made like a glittering silent core, so it was like a glitter glue, a purple glitter glue. And so this one I didn't do that. I don't know where that glue is now, but I just painted it purple like in the show to make it accurate. The only thing I didn't end up painting, which might be controversial, is the inside of the wings. As you can see there's some lines where it should be pink, but I just didn't want to get up in there. I was having issues with these bottom wings sticking, especially like the screw drilling it in, which is complicated. There was, a lot of issues there, and so I decided to just not paint them. It's not that big a deal. You don't really see it. You probably couldn't even tell until I told you in the video. Yeah, all these Bakugan 2 have been like spray painted with a clear coat, so I used satin clear coat and it seemed to work the best to just get the nice sheen on it, but also protect the paint as much as possible. So yeah, just seeing these two guys together I think is pretty cool. Seeing them together like this is nice. And then you can also do like, now we can like recreate episode 52 where they battle and all that, so I think that's neat. I've also got my Leonidas here. I'm not going to talk too much on him. I made an entire video dedicated to Leonidas and making him and all that, but here he is. He's functional. I really like the design. And I don't know, I might end up redoing this one in a future video just to, I don't know, perfect it, because the paint's not my favorite. I need to rework the print area here because it's like making it kind of messy. But yeah, this one was interesting. I don't think I have my print settings 100% correct and accurate, so I might end up redoing him in the future, but for now, he's a good display piece and he kind of chills out there. Speaking of the video game, you may have seen this one, my most recent piece. This is Battle Axe Vladitor from the video game. Just an incredible design, easy to make. This one, if you're getting into 3D printing, this is the one I recommend you make. All you need is a Blade Tigrera to recreate it. It's literally the same exact model as Blade Tigrera. For the most part, I ended up using a Fortress arms and then a bootleg air core I had to assemble him, so you can use alternative pieces. I'm going to show off the paint job here because the paint job's kind of confusing. It's very hard to see from the reference images I had, but I mean, this is mostly it. And coolest part is he does work. These parts are a bit sticky. They usually spring up. But I think I had some clear coat that got in the spring, so they're not working right now. But they do work. And yeah, as you can see, he's literally a Blade Tigrera. Like, he slides open and stuff, and then his feet come out, so I'll slowly do those, because the feet are, to me, the most loose part, and I've been having issues with the feet recently staying. Like, this one wants to fall off already. Yeah, you can tell it does not want to stick. So we'll see if we can press that in there. Oh, but yeah. Super cool Bakugan, super cool design. It was fun to paint. It was a lot. Like, the red did not want to go into the black at all. So it's like, this is like 10 coats of red paint, and I don't even think it's still perfect. It's close though. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's this, like, the springs are here. It's literally a Blade Tigrera retool. But it's cool that we can just have this Bakugan. So I think my next mission is going to be Vladitor. I printed one out and have been messing with it, so his pre-evolution in the original, but some pieces are wonky, so I need to reprint them and mess with them. But yeah, I mean, this is a really cool Bakugan. Again, super easy design. I highly recommend this one first. And it's amazing how many people have not done this one, like this model. There's barely any online, so 100% go for it. Again, links are in the description. Alrighty, and last but not least, we have our Alpha Hydronoid. I have two models of this, so we'll talk about that in a second, but let's look at the original, right? We gotta pop him open, get him out. I think the original model that we got is okay. I don't think it's the end of the world bad. It's okay. It plays well in the game with this heavy metal ring, so it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. I am a fan of it, but it could be better, right? So these are mostly functional. My wings tend to get stuck because of the paint I used, so we'll see if we can pop them open. Yeah, the wings get stuck just because of the paint right here, but better than nothing, right? You could probably sand that down more while you're making it, and it would be fine. But yeah, the arms come out. I've made a video on this guy as well. This is my original. The paint I used wasn't as purple as I wanted it to be. And then as I was messing around with my printer, I ended up making another one. And this one is a bit better. The wings pop out more, but the head doesn't want to. So you get what you get. Again, I could go back in and perfect it, but really just a display piece. These 3D prints are usually not meant to be beat around and stuff, but I mean, like, the difference is crazy. Like, oh, it looks so good. No shame in feeding who did this model. Absolutely incredible job, especially like the sliding mechanism for the saw. Beautiful. I've made a whole video talking about it, so I won't gush over it too much, but yeah, that's the last print model I worked on, and the purple's a bit similar, like it's much better on this one, so I do like this one a lot. It just turned out really well. I ended up using like some random springs for this one too. I don't even think I had like official springs that are recommended, like the T-Carrera or the Cosmic Ingram springs you should use. I don't even think I used those. So it's really just a concoction of random springs, which goes to show that you can achieve a lot with just what you have from random Bakugan. But yeah, it's all painted, it looks good. This one foot's a little loose. Again, I just have a problem with the feet, I don't know. But I don't know, let me know which color you like more. There's a brighter purple, and then there's that darker purple. Every other paint's the same, it's just that purple I changed. But yeah, really interesting. I like them both. I'm fine with both. Gladiator's foot just fell off. It's so annoying. Hey guys, that is all of my 3D printed Bakugan that I have worked on over the past couple months. Let me know which one's your favorite. And I don't know, what can I do to improve these? I guess, like, in terms of, like, assembly wise. Paint's always something I can practice, but assembly has always been an issue, particularly with the Silent Naga and then the Leonidas. Those have been my biggest issues, but let me know. And with that, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, and of course subscribe for more awesome Bakugan. My name is Jesse. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.